Hello and welcome to today's video. So as you have already likely seen, both myself and DeBeOtaku went and visited every single travelling man in one day. Now, potentially, we may have also stopped in some other stores en route. So 3 of the travelling mans were also near Forbidden Planet Internationals and Forbidden Planets. So we maybe dipped in because, well, we were there, and also DeBeOtaku hadn't been to any of them before, so we're like, why not? Also, apologies for my voice, I am still a bit under the weather. My throat is the main thing suffering still, unfortunately, but I am trying my hardest. So the very first stop we did was Manchester, so this is the Forbidden Planet International in Manchester. Now, I have said previously, I think their stock could be a little better. They do have quite a wide range of Viz stuff, especially Shonen Jump and the Signature line, Shonen Sunday as well. So if you're after like that sort of stuff, if you're after Full Metal Alchemist, as you can see, Naruto, One Piece, this is a great store to stop for that. However, if you're after like anything else, I'd say Yen Press Kodansha 7 Seas, they're a little light on that, unfortunately. Fingers crossed it will improve over the years. But yeah, so this will have been the second store of the day. So we did Travelling Man Manchester first, and then we ran over the street to this one because they are literally round the corner. And I was like, I'm gonna at least buy manga in every store, but because we were hitting so many stores, I didn't want to buy a huge amount anyway. So I was mostly trying to see what sort of new releases they had that wasn't Viz, because sometimes they get like some Tokyo Pop stuff and what's the other one? Square Enix stuff. I noticed they sometimes get in before like the Leeds Forbidden Planet International does. So that was mainly what I was looking for. Got all that One Punch Man. It is a very expensive series, though it is in full colour at least. I have actually picked it up and I need to read it. I don't know why, but I think I was really surprised to realise how explicit. I had to flick through because I've not flicked through mine yet, and I was really surprised to see how explicit it was, considering it's not plastic wrapped in any way. But maybe I'm just used to... Usually the Forbidden Planet International and Leeds, if they get stuff that's even like slightly parental advisory or anything, like they'll plastic wrap it themselves, they'll put them in comic bags and sellotape them up. So Hell's Paradise, Gordon Canway, you'll find they're plastic wrapped by the store in Leeds, and I think I was a bit surprised they hadn't done it here because I have seen them plastic wrap some stuff here. This is where someone sees this video and they're like, oh, and then they go in plastic wrapped on and off. Is it on and off or on or off? On or off. I'm just trying to find where my volumes are. It's kind of neat seeing the Marvel Zombies manga because like I don't know what publisher that is, but it was nice to see it with the manga. I'm not a zombie fan at all though, so I'm not intending on picking it up though, to be honest. I have been absolutely loving the recent Tokyo Pop volumes. I love the spines. I think the spines are so pretty. Like Just Friends and Confessions of a Shy Baker. I think just the font and the way they are on the spine is really pretty. There's a whole bunch of other ones that I want to try and pick up. So on the way out, we realised there was a little bit of a sale shelf. There wasn't really too much I wanted to pick up. There was quite a lot of light novels, which was nice to see. But recently I've been buying so much on World of Books at like crazy prices, like £3-4. So even at $7.99, even though that is a good price for a light novel, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I say bring myself, they're for Ben. Ben could buy them. So that was Manchester Forbidden Planet International. So next up is Leeds Forbidden Planet International. So this one isn't as close to the Travelling Man, but it is literally right next to the car park that we use. So pretty much we have to walk past it to get back to the car anyway. So it was like, why not? And it was very amusing watching DeBeOtaku march in with a big sense of purpose, like he knew where he was going, and then get confused. Oh my gosh, you're charging head. Where are you going?
They're downstairs.
Oh, opposite corner.
Oh.
The fool, ha 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 ha. It was a bit crowded today. I mean, usually when I go manga shopping, I like to try and go for opening. Even on a Saturday, it's quite quiet if you're there for opening. But obviously, because we were hitting multiple stores, we didn't actually get into Leeds till just after lunchtime. And I feel like it was starting to hit like peak busyness. And I know it doesn't actually look like there's that many people there, but I really don't like shopping around other people at all. I really, really try and avoid it if I can. I had to quickly check to see if there was any new like pillowcases, cushion covers. Oh, there was a popcorn. Oh, was that a fox or a red panda? I think it was a fox. I like that popcorn squishmallow. If I'd realised that was there, I might have been more tempted. So usually I go straight for the adult stuff, but this time I went straight for the reduced section. I feel like this is probably going to be my new route. Go straight to the reduced section, see what they've got, and then run to the end. They also now have a section where they've got new releases, which is quite nice. I do like when they pull new releases out, because sometimes I just miss them on the shelves, and it really annoys me when I look back at footage and I'm like, oh, they did have this. Like, I see they have Nana and Karu too, though in hindsight I don't know what I'd make a 3 for 2 with that, because it's a much more expensive series because it's thick. And I think this is actually the first shopping video I've done where I've shown the way they've reorganized Leeds. So yeah, they've rearranged the shelves in Leeds so they all go around the outside now instead of being in the middle. It definitely has given them a bit more space because they've got space for the sale bit, they've got space for the new releases bit, and there were a bunch more like thicker gaps I think than there were before. This is a series I do want to pick up, but I think it's a full colour yen press, so I'll probably wait to see if I can see it secondhand. I do see another new release that I might need to try and hunt down. Dang it. And this really surprised me, seeing 1, 2 and 3 of A Bride's Story, because I'm not sure the last time I can remember seeing them in store. And I was quite impressed at $12.99 for a hardback. Felt really good, considering some of the like bigger cadenzas are now $12 or $13.99. I have got a few volumes of Bride's Story that I've bought secondhand, but I didn't have volume 1, so I was like, I'm going to pick up volume 1. I do quite like that the manga is now around the edges. I think my only problem is I wish there was a little bit of a bigger space between the shelves and the shelves behind with like anime figures, because if there's like, as you can see, if there's like one person stood there, you can't get past, and I had to kind of push through politely to be able to get through because they were just stood talking, but it was only one person, and I feel like if there's only one person talking, I should still be able to get past. But I do like the big long wall of manga. It looks really neat. I do love it. So in both Manchester and Leeds, I haven't really tried to like show the manga they've got too much, just because they're both stores that I go to fairly frequently-ish. A chunk of it was just to show like stuff I'm picking up, to show DeBeOtaku having a whale of a time with me. He had the best time ever, isn't that right? And don't listen to anything he says otherwise. I know he started reading Witch Atelier recently and he's become obsessed. Rightly so. It's a very good series. I just realised that was the 7 Deadly Sins box set. I hadn't realised they did wait, no, I did know they did box sets. Look, a full run of A Witch's Printing Office. Someone go and get it. I'm trying to remember what I picked up in Leeds ultimately. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have it marked in my spreadsheet somewhere. I think I got that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And then this is the one I was most excited for. So this is Forbidden Planet, like a regular Forbidden Planet, not an international. Same chain as the one in London, different chain to the Manchester and Leeds ones. And I haven't been to the Newcastle one in like 6-7 years. I was very, very, very super excited to go. What I think my first impression of the store is it feels quite empty. Like there's really big open spaces, which I mean, it was quite nice. I mean, as the opposite problem I had in Leeds, where I didn't run into anyone because I could have starfished on the floor and not run into anyone. But it just felt a bit weird how open spaced it was. It's the same, what actually impressed me a lot about the stock in the Newcastle one, because it's the same chain as the London, what I found in the London one is they often seem to get new Viz releases quite a bit earlier than I see anywhere else. Even online, I see them getting new Viz releases earlier. And what was nice was in the Newcastle, part of me wondered that maybe it's the London one, it's the flagship store.
Wait, have you had a good day? There is a right answer to that.
I've had a good day with this one. It's been a fun day.
Great. So North's great, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good.
You all heard him. It's recorded footage. You heard him. What was I saying? I got so distracted. Yeah, a part of me wondered if maybe it's just because the London store is the London store. They really made sure they had good stock. But actually, I think the stock and what they had in the Newcastle store actually felt quite similar to the London store in terms of earliness of volumes and range of volumes. Instead, they just had a bit less of everything because there are less shelves in the Newcastle store than the London store. But I don't know. I found that quite interesting. I found like the stock levels were actually the stock was quite similar. There was just a bit less of everything. Which is nice, because I mean Newcastle is a little bit of a trek from London, so if you want to try and go to a Forbidden Planet and you're in Newcastle, you don't have to try and make your way to London. You've got a decent one with a decent stock here. Though this one only does, so regular Forbidden Planet only does 3 for 2 on Viz and 7Cs, so no 3 for 2 on the Empress or Kodansha. I did make a little bit of an effort to try and find a sale section. Maybe I did miss it. I'd be very annoyed if I did miss it, but I did look around a little bit because the London one is pretty decent. What I also really liked was they separated Viz and 7Cs from the other publishers, which kind of was like what Travelling Man had done in a couple of the stores where they'd separated Viz from everything else. So like all the 3 for 2 stuff was together, which was really nice. It felt a bit like, so these shelves are the 3 for 2 stuff and these shelves aren't, and not like going through trying to figure out which ones are which. I've seen quite a few new releases looking back at this footage that I could have picked up, but I kind of wanted to pick up some weird stuff-ish. Stuff that I'd like, or stuff that I'd had an eye on for like a long time. Like I see there's a new 2.5 dimensional seduction, gosh darn it. A lot of people in the Discord have been talking about this volume. I don't really know anything about it though. And I couldn't find a price on any of the volumes, so I put it back. And they've got the Toy Story Tokyo Pop. So yeah, that was Newcastle, and you can see just how much empty space there is. I don't know. I mean, I like it, but it also feels a bit weird. But maybe that's just me. I would 100% go back. I'd go back up to Newcastle. I also really like the Travelling Man, so I'd happily hit them both, especially since they're like just down the road from each other. They're literally next door. It's absolutely wonderful. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. This was like just spare footage I had filmed from the marvelous manga adventure that we went on. We did ultimately hit 7 manga stores that day. It was a long day. We bought a lot of manga. but it was wonderful. Maybe he'll want to do it again with me at some point. DeBeOtaku, if you feel down for it. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe for lots and lots of manga content. Also check out my social media and affiliate links found down below, like the Dudettes Discord server. Otherwise, I hope you have the most wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!